Okay, imagine this. The crazy high-octane world of The Wolf of Wall Street, right? But now, imagine it turbocharged with today's artificial intelligence. That's sort of the wild territory we're getting into today. We've been looking through some really interesting material, basically excerpts from this thought experiment called The Wolf of Wall Street in the Age of AI.
Yeah, and our mission here really is to unpack how AI could just dramatically ramp up both the complex financial schemes like Belfort ran,
Right.
and also how law enforcement would try to fight back against these super sophisticated threats. We're really hunting for those key insights, the interplay between crime and detection.
Exactly. And this isn't just like a fun movie, what if?
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty sharp lens to look at how fast AI is evolving everywhere and what that means for society. Okay, so let's dive in. First act, the AI arms race begins. How would a place like Stratton Oakmont, Belfort's firm, actually use AI as a weapon?
Well, the source suggests it's layered. Think about custom AI agents doing all sorts of jobs.
Like what?
Well, some could be like virtual assistants doing admin stuff, but also kind of subtly scraping info. Others would just churn through market data looking for any little edge.
Uh-huh.
And then you've got AI basically manufacturing hype on social media, making penny stocks look like the next big thing.
And the cold calls. I mean, picture an AI making thousands of calls at the same time. Each one with a perfect, synthesized, smooth-talking broker voice. The sheer scale of it.
It's staggering. And it's not just the volume, it's the quality of the pitch. These AI systems using large language models, LLMs,
Right.
they could craft these incredibly persuasive sales scripts, and they'd adapt on the fly, handling objections before you even fully state them. It's like an army of super salespeople, all personalized.
Well, both cool and deeply creepy. And you mentioned they weren't just calling anyone, they were picking targets.
Exactly. The AI could crunch data to profile potential investors, figure out who might be, well, more easily swayed versus who's savvier.
So hyper-targeted manipulation.
It lets them focus their less than ethical efforts with scary precision. The efficiency it brings to the scam is kind of mind-blowing.
And they even had an AI watching out for the cops, like scanning for SEC or FBI. That feels almost cartoonish, but
Plausible.
disturbingly plausible, yeah. This dark AI, as the source calls it, constantly scanning news, regulatory sites, flagging keywords. It's an early warning system.
Giving them time to cover their tracks.
Or react, hide things, maybe even put out disinformation. A digital guard dog, basically.
And faking evidence got an AI boost, too.
Oh, yeah. Another AI could generate fake financial reports that look totally legit, designed to fool auditors, or even forge email chains to throw investigators off the scent later.
So the initial advantage, it would have been huge. They'd be moving so fast.
Way faster than traditional law enforcement could probably handle, at least initially.
Okay, so that's Act 1, AI as the offensive weapon. Then comes Act 2, corruption at machine speed. How does AI change the game for their actual crimes, like the pump and dumps? It just throws gasoline on the fire. Think about those pump and dump schemes. Now, AI bots flood online finance forums, social media. Not just spamming, but having, like, real conversations, making it look like there's huge organic buzz for these junk stocks. It's manufactured viral hype.
Creating that illusion of demand to drive the price up.
Yeah.
And then the dump part happens just as fast.
Oh, instantly. AI trading algorithms execute the sell orders at lightning speed the second the price peaks. They cash out huge profits in moments.
Leaving everyone else holding the bag.
Exactly. And regulators, maybe still using older methods, are just playing catch-up.
And it wasn't just the trading floor, right? AI was working its way into other parts of the operation.
Yeah, absolutely. Jordan himself, the source imagines, could use AI to, like, practice his public persona, run mock press interviews to perfect his spin.
Refining the brand.
And Naomi's AI assistant. That's interesting. It manages her calendar, sure, but it also acts like a filter, maybe intercepting potential PR disasters or even handling blackmail threats discreetly. Digital counter intel.
A digital fixer and shield. Wild. But the feds wouldn't just sit back, right? They'd have to fight AI with AI.
No way. That's the next turn. Law enforcement, the FBI, Agent Denham, maybe. They start deploying their own AI, analyzing Stratton's massive digital footprint, looking for those tiny clues humans miss.
Using deep learning.
Right. That kind of AI is great at finding complex patterns in huge data sets, spotting weird trading spikes, unusual correlations, stuff that screams manipulation.
So it becomes AI versus AI. A digital chess match.
Pretty much. And the FBI might even try to sneak their own AI moles into Belfort systems, trying to get intel from the inside.
Which sets us up for Act 3. The AI unravels. This is where the arms race really heats up and things start to go wrong for Stratton.
Exactly. The consequences start hitting home.
Okay, so how does the tech start to bite them back?
Well, one idea is this FBI whistleblower AI, an AI that manages to crack Stratton's encryption, maybe recover deleted files, evidence they thought was gone forever.
Oof, that persistence of digital data,
Yeah.
it's a real thing.
It really is. And remember the deepfakes they were maybe using to deceive people?
Yeah.
Well, the tools to detect deepfakes also get better. So those forged documents, fake audio clips, they start getting exposed. The tech they use to lie becomes proof against them.
The weapon turns on its wielder, and their own AI starts messing up.
Yeah.
There's something about hallucinations.
Yeah, that's a fascinating wrinkle. Maybe under pressure or because the data gets messy, Stratton's AI starts making mistakes, generates fake leads, maybe even points fingers at innocent people inside the company to try and deflect.
Wow. Talk about unintended consequences.
It shows the danger of relying too much on these systems, especially when the inputs are corrupt.
And Jordan, getting paranoid, turns to an AI lawyer. That sounds unwise.
Extremely unwise. This AI legal coach might offer clever-sounding tricks like how to avoid wiretaps or use deep-faked audio for alibis. But it's all incredibly risky. It doesn't get the nuances of actual law, human judges, juries. It could easily give advice that backfires spectacularly.
He's trusting his freedom to code, and that trust doesn't pay off.
Not at all. The AI-generated alibis start clashing with the actual digital forensics. The breadcrumbs, even the fake ones, lead back to them.
And Naomi's AI therapist, that plays a role.
In a really ironic twist, yeah. She relies on it, talks to it, but the AI, maybe programmed with some ethical guardrails, starts picking up on patterns of illegal activity in what she's saying.
And it breaks her.
It alerts the authorities. Their own tech, even the supportive kind, helps bring them down.
Wow. So it all just converges: AI wiretaps, AI analyzing the money trail, data leaks, the whole digital house of cards collapses.
Exactly. It's not just people testifying anymore. The data itself tells the story. The digital wolf, as the source calls it, gets caught partly because of the digital tracks it leaves.
Which brings us to the bigger picture, the ethical side of all this. What are the main takeaways there?
Well, one huge one is just weaponized manipulation at scale. AI makes it possible to target and deceive people in ways that are incredibly personalized, blurring the line between persuasion and outright exploitation.
Yeah, it makes you really question trust in the digital age. And this AI arms race between the criminals and the cops.
That raises huge questions about fairness, privacy. What happens when the AI makes a mistake? Who's responsible? Can you trust AI-generated evidence completely?
The accountability question. If the bot did it, who actually pays the price?
That's a massive legal and ethical gray area. It really muddies the waters of responsibility in a way we haven't fully grappled with yet.
It feels like it could let people off the hook too easily. And are there wider social costs?
For sure. Dependence on these systems may be increased isolation. And the idea of your own tech, like Naomi's AI therapist, potentially snitching on you, raises all sorts of flags about privacy and trust.
They're definitely unsettling. But it's not all bad, right? The source must see some benefits or lessons learned.
Well, it definitely highlights AI's power for efficiency and scale for good and bad. Just like it helps criminals, it can help regulators be much more effective.
A double-edged sword.
Completely. And it hammers home how persistent digital data is. Covering your tracks online is getting harder and harder, even with sophisticated tools.
So maybe transparency wins out sometimes.
Potentially. AI can be used to obscure things, but it can also be used to analyze and reveal. But the biggest lesson, maybe, is that humans are still crucial.
Oh.
Neither the criminal AI nor the law enforcement AI is perfect. You still need human judgment, ethics, intuition. Someone has to question the AI, oversee it, make the final calls. It's a tool, a powerful one, but still a tool.
You can't just outsource critical thinking or morality to an algorithm.
Precisely.
Okay, so wrapping up this AI-infused Wolf of Wall Street scenario, what are the absolute key takeaways for you?
I think first, unchecked AI just amplifies everything. Good and bad developments happen faster, bigger. Second, ethics, transparency, regulation. They become more important, not less, in the age of AI.
Right.
Third, you can't escape human responsibility. Agency, judgment that stays with us. And finally, maybe a bit hopefully, is the idea that justice can still prevail, and sometimes the technology itself can even help ensure that. The code might help catch the crooks.
So AI is this incredibly powerful double-edged sword. Huge potential for good, huge potential for misuse, like we saw in this reimagining. And for you listening, wanting to get up to speed, quickly but deeply, hopefully this deep dive gave you a concentrated hit of what that future intersection of finance, crime, and AI might look like.
And it leaves us with a pretty big question, doesn't it? As AI keeps racing ahead, how do we update our ideas about trust, about responsibility, even about justice itself to keep up?
Mhm.
What safeguards do we need to build so the digital wolf doesn't constantly outsmart the system? This is definitely just the start of a really important conversation.